Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Jillz. Welcome. I'm doing a little bit of a healthy routine vlog today because I've had a little bit of a chaotic past few weeks. I was on vacation last week. I've just been really busy. We've had guests over. I've been eating out a lot. I've been kind of just out of my normal routine and I'm starting to really feel the effects of that. I don't know if you can see, but I'm starting to get little bumps on my chin whenever I'm not eating right, like right for me and not eating clean and healthy. I always start to break out. That is a very clear indicator that my body is out of balance and it needs extra support. So I need to get back on my game. So I thought that I would kind of take you guys along with me, talk about what I eat in a day and how I kind of reset myself in that health sort of way and the different like health practices that I do specifically to feel my best. And I did that video on how I healed my body naturally, and that was a really popular video, and a lot of people wanted to learn more about like what I ate and how I took care of myself. So I figured since I am doing that, I'm kind of doing this health reset, it's a great opportunity. And this health reset is probably gonna look a little bit different than what you've seen on, like other videos on other YouTube channels, because mine is much more gentle. I don't do intensity. That doesn't make me feel good. So let me give you a little bit of a rundown on my day already. So I have already woken up, obviously, made breakfast. I went outside on my patio and sat out there for about 5 to 10 minutes to get that morning light in my eyes. That is so important, especially if you struggle with sleep and like insomnia and things like that. Right when you wake up, go outside and get the sun in your eyes for as long as you can. That can really help. And it's also just super calming and grounding. It feels really good. And then I cleaned my whole house because, a clean house is a clean mind. And then I got ready and here we are. So I am starving. I'm gonna make some lunch and I'm going to take you along with me to the kitchen and kind of just show you what a normal healthy meal, simple, clean meal will look like for me. And then also just kind of talk about what I normally eat, like what my diet usually consists of. To the kitchen. And by the way, I finally finished decorating. Well, actually, I'm not finished decorating, but I've almost finished decorating this living room. We just need some artwork right here, which I haven't found. I did find one that I really, really like, but it's really expensive. So I'm trying to find something else, but isn't it cute? I think it's cute. I've got leftovers. Okay, so luckily we do already have some leftovers. One of Cole and I's favorite things to do is whenever we're making like a good protein for dinner at night, like a good steak or, chicken or whatever it is, we will cook a large quantity so that it will kind of hold us over for at least the next lunch after that, or preferably more than that. So I have a massive ribeye steak that I'm going to eat today and it's gonna be delicious. I love steak. I also have some leftover rice cooked in bone broth. That is a good little tip. Instead of cooking your rice just in water, cook it in bone broth. It adds a lot more nutrition and it also just tastes better too. So I've got steak, I've got rice, and then I'm just gonna do some sort of like veggie on the side of that. Like I have this big thing of carrots. I love carrots, so I think I might do that. I also have some arugula, so I might do a little salad, or I might do a little bit of like some sliced apple, or we also have some mango. So I'm gonna do something like that. But yeah, all of my meals that I eat are normally very simple and it's just like very basic. I try to make my meals basically as simple as possible, just as clean as possible, because that's what I like. Honestly, I just prefer that, and it just makes me feel so much better than eating a bunch of more processed foods. Obviously, there are some amazing healthy processed foods, and I do have some in my fridge. Like, let me show you. These tacos are amazing. We always have these in our fridge just because sometimes when we have this like leftover protein, we want to have a super quick, fast meal, we'll cook up these tacos, do a few like veggies, caramelized onions, things like that, throw the protein on, add some avocado, and call it a day. And it's just so easy. So there are a lot of really clean products out there now that are still processed, but I still, even though this is considered, healthy, I don't want that to be the bulk of my diet. I still want it to be just like very basic and natural. So let's cook this up. Okay, so I'm starving. I'm gonna eat this. Let me show you my lunch real quick. I have the leftover ribeye, I've got carrots, I've got some arugula and blueberries with olive oil and vinegar on top, leftover rice cooked in bone broth, and avocado. And it looks really good. So one thing that I want to mention real quick before I finish this meal is that with every single meal that I cook or every single meal that I eat, I try to have there be at least a protein, fat, and usually a little bit of a complex carb. And then, I usually add some sort of like veggie or something like that on the side, or some fruit or something like that. But when you make a plate that has like that protein, fat, and like a little bit of carb as well, it makes it so your blood sugar is a lot more stable and you're a lot more satiated. So I find that when I eat this way, I'm just a lot more satisfied. I'm fuller for longer. I can go longer periods of time between meals. I'm not someone who likes to snack a lot. I just don't really like snack foods. I just don't like snacking that much. So I try to have bigger meals that can really hold me over for like a good 4 hours or so. And so I try to make sure I have plates like this that are very like well balanced. And I try to do this almost every single time. And if you do this, you will notice an increase in like your energy levels and just how good you feel. Because I think sometimes we'll eat just like a big bowl of pasta, but we won't have any protein with it or any like maybe good healthy fats with it. And all it's doing is spiking your blood sugar. So it's just good to have that balance in there. So I'm almost done with my meal, but before I forget, I wanted to expand upon like what I actually eat every single day. So this is just like an example of something that I'll eat, but it always just kind of sticks to the same formula. So for example, for like a protein, I'll have chicken, fish, steak, sausage, turkey, whatever it is, something like that. I am an animal protein person. I'm sorry to the vegans out there, but I just feel so much better when I eat animal proteins. And then also with fats like avocado, olives, olive oil. Nuts and seeds could be good as well. I don't eat a ton of those just because they don't make me feel good. They tend to make me bloated. So I kind of try to limit those. I love avocado. And sometimes protein will have a good amount of fat as well, depending on what you're eating. And then I always do a little bit of a complex carb. I'm a girl that eats like carbs at every single meal. I love carbs. They make me feel good. So my favorites are rice, jasmine rice, especially cooked in bone broth like I mentioned, and then sweet potato, but especially Japanese sweet potato. If you haven't had Japanese sweet potato or you haven't heard of it, you need to try it. It is the superior sweet potato. It's got like a purple outside and then a white inside, and it just tastes extra sweet and extra buttery. It's just so good. There's also things like squash, or there's also really great pasta replacements now too, like really, really good. There's brown rice pasta. You can get it at basically any grocery store. Well, I mostly shop at Whole Foods, but I've seen them at other stores as well. There's lentil pasta as well if you like lentils, and they're actually pretty good. So those are kind of the foods that I tend to rotate through, and then I add veggies. So like I really like carrots. I really like just like a little small salad with like blueberries like I did today, or like some sort of fruit like strawberries. That's really good. I love artichoke. I love zucchini. I really like zucchini. I love mushrooms. I love onions. So then I just kind of have fun with the rest. And I think sometimes people are like, oh, you eat healthy. They imagine you must just be eating chicken and broccoli for every meal. And that is so far from the truth. I would basically never eat just a meal that's chicken and broccoli unless, I was in a huge hurry and it was all that I had. But I like good, big, nutritious meals. I like carbs. I think sometimes when people think of healthy eating, they think that it's just chicken and broccoli or like just salads or things like that. But I think to be especially healthy, you really have to focus on balancing your blood sugar and making sure you're getting some protein and making sure you're getting some variety. To be healthy, you don't need to minimize your meals so much that they're the size for a toddler. I eat big plates. I eat a lot of food. So I'm not a chicken and broccoli kind of girl. I don't even really like broccoli that much. I rarely eat it. I don't eat a ton of cruciferous veggies. I do love Brussels sprouts though. And sometimes cauliflower. But this is basically what I eat. It's just simple, clean food, but it tastes really good. Like I am extremely satisfied after eating this. And my husband and I will say all the time that we actually enjoy the meals that we eat at home the best. Like they actually taste the best to us and we feel the best afterwards too. So for me, like when I'm doing a health reset and when I'm like extremely prioritizing my health, I try to eat at home and have home cooked meals as much as possible because they are always so much cleaner and so much healthier. So many of the restaurants out there are really packed with like a ton of low quality food, and they cook their food in terrible oils like canola oil and things like that. It's just not gonna make you feel as good. It's not as good for your body. When you eat at home, even if you want to make like something that isn't traditionally healthy, like a big bowl of like pasta or, you know, make pizza or whatever it is, it's oftentimes so much healthier if you just make it at home as opposed to getting it out somewhere. So when I do a little health reset, I cook a lot, and I put a lot of time into cooking because that's where I see a ginormous benefit for me. And once I start cooking all my meals and just kind of eating my simple, clean meals that I love at home, any acne that I have goes away. Okay, I've got like a few more bites. I'm gonna finish this up and then I will talk to you in a sec.
Some of the symptoms that can come into our lives when we're not getting enough full spectrum sun.
It's far too low to get less issue when those are.
A health tip you've probably never heard before in your entire life. Drink your water. Let's get into it here. So let's talk. So when I'm trying to get back into my healthy living or really any sort of kind of routine again, I always like to take a journal and just sit for like 5 or 10 minutes and write down all the things that I know will help me to like feel better or to succeed in that goal. So I'm gonna do this real quick. It'll take 5 minutes. And then I kind of want to share like what I'm writing down and what I'm putting as like what makes me feel better and what makes me feel the healthiest and like the routines or the habits that I want to get better on. So give me 5 minutes, or do this with me, better yet, do this with me, and we will resume in a sec.
5 minutes later.
Okay, so here's the thing, and something that I want to talk about. So many people, when they start like their healthy routine, they want to get healthy, they will start creating the habits of like waking up at 6 a.m., like going to Barry's boot camp like 5 times a week, doing all this intense stuff, just eating chicken and broccoli like I was talking about earlier. And that is the opposite of what I do. When I think about what actually makes me feel good and what actually makes me feel healthy and what makes me feel my best and most vibrant, it's not those things. It's actually some of the opposite. And I wanted to share like the things that I write down and the things that I want to get better at. Obviously, more home cooked meals. I already talked about that. That's like a really big thing for me. Less eating out, more clean, simple foods. But also when I want to get my health back more on track, I actually let myself sleep in more, and I actually try to encourage myself to sleep more. Where I feel like so many people, when they do their health routine, they, you know, force themselves to get up super early. I've done that. I've tried that. I've tried that for a long time. It doesn't work for me. It makes me feel worse. It doesn't work. It might make some people feel good, but it doesn't make me feel good. So I have written down like sleep more. And then same with movement. I don't have any sort of like intense exercise on here. All I have is more gentle walks with the dogs because I haven't been as good with walking them lately. More stretching because I was on a really good routine with that before kind of everything went a little crazy the past few weeks, and then I haven't done as well. And I really want to get my splits back. I used to be a gymnast, so I really want to get my splits back. And I just feel like I want to be more mobile, you know? So like more stretching, getting outside more. Yeah, like less phone, more outside time. Like it's just the simple things for me that make me feel my healthiest. And then I also have sauna written on here. I love infrared saunas. They make me feel so good. I've had a problem in the past with like sweating and being able to sweat, but sweating is such a great like natural detoxification process that we have. And so I like to get in the sauna, especially when it starts to get chillier, which it is now. I like to get in the sauna like a few times a week. And we actually purchased a sauna at the end of last year. It was like a kind of like a joint Christmas present for ourselves. We found a used sauna on Facebook Marketplace, and it retails for like probably $7,000, but we got it for, I think it was $1,500 or something like that. But then the people who we bought the sauna from became one of our best friends. So it was all around an amazing purchase. So now we have a sauna in our garage, and that's usually a very important part of kind of getting back into my whole wellness routine and getting back on track, because it does make me feel really good. And it might also just be like a mental part. Like I feel like I'm sweating out all of the bad stuff that I ate on my vacation and things like that. But either way, it makes me feel really good. And I love to just sit in there and read. So I'm gonna do that later tonight. I only ever do it basically in the morning right when I wake up or before bed, just because you obviously get really sweaty and you know, it ruins everything. So you'll see later, I'm gonna do that tonight. But just having all of these things written down, it just makes it so much more clear in my head about what I actually need to do. And instead of having it be all jumbled in my head, I have it clearly written down and I can clearly like put that into my schedule or figure out how I can do this. So with all of this though, you have to write down what actually makes you feel good. So if waking up at 5:30 in the morning and doing like an hour-long intense cardio workout and then fasting until 1 p.m., if that doesn't feel good to you, which it definitely wouldn't for me, then that's probably not healthy for you, and that's probably not something that you should write down. I think a lot of us think that that's what health means, but health is what makes you feel good and healthy. Sometimes when you want to get healthy, the best things you can do is, instead of ramping up everything and making things more kind of chaotic and more intense, slowing things down and just going back to the basics, just cooking your meals and getting outside more and going for walks. That could probably transform your health more than a lot of things, more than going to all these exercise classes and doing all of this stuff. I think sometimes people fail at setting these like healthy habits because they're just so intense and they're not sustainable. And then also for women, we have a 28-day hormonal cycle. And so what a lot of us will do is that we'll create these routines, like Monday through Friday, we're gonna work out for an hour and do these specific workouts, when in your follicular and ovulatory phases, that might feel really good to you. That's like more the middle of your cycle. And then once you get more to that PMS phase, which is more like the luteal phase, and then the menstrual phase, which is when you're on your period, you are not gonna have as much energy and as much motivation and as much strength. Like, it's just biology, and that's okay. And so I think that sometimes we set ourselves up for failure by setting these intense health habits that we wanna start that's just not sustainable for our month-long cycle. So for example, I always exercise more in the follicular and ovulatory phase in my cycle than the other phases of my cycle. And when I'm on my period, like that just makes sense. That's what makes me feel better. When we start these like healthy journeys, we have to set ourselves up for long-term success. And long-term success means things that are achievable and actually doable and things that we can succeed at. And when we do that, then we can start growing and shifting those habits even more. But that's how we start. And so like my husband, when he does his like healthy reset, which he's kind of doing right now as well, he's much more intense. Like his is like hour-long workout every single day, you know, this and that. And he's very intense with his food and his protein sizes and things like that. I'm not like that. My body's different. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I can see the beauty in that. So I think that maybe when people click on a video like this, like healthy reset routine, people are expecting like a little bit more intensity. And that's not how I reset health-wise. That's not what I do, and that's not what makes me healthy. So that's something very important to keep in mind. Do what makes you feel good. That's all you have to do. But be honest with yourself about what that is. And then one other thing that I put on here was my like treatments that I do. I don't do a ton, but I do see a holistic practitioner. He's a chiropractor, but he does other stuff as well. So kind of a long story, but we're all friends now. And so he's actually coming over here later. So he's gonna treat me in my house. So you'll see that as well. I'll record it. But he's like the only main treatment that I do regularly, just because like I notice such a big benefit. Like it's worth the money for me. And he really helps me with my supplements as well. So I don't just like choose a bunch of supplements on Amazon that just like have good reviews. I basically just kind of take supplements based off of his guidance. So I haven't done as many appointments with him as I normally do. So I want to kind of get back more into like more of those regular treatments. Oh, and also reading. That was one other thing that I put down. And like most people would not think of reading as like healthy reset routine, but it's something that I love, and it's something that like really helps to like ground me and make me feel good. I like to like read a little bit before bed every night. So I just feel like that's a really good habit and something that I really like, and something that just with friends visiting and being on vacation, I haven't done as much lately. So I kind of want to get back into that. All in all, healthy living is not complicated, but we have made it complicated by seeing everyone waking up at 5 a.m. and seeing all these people doing these, 6-mile, 7-mile runs in the morning on their Instagram stories. It's great that it works for them, but health is not a one-size-fits-all. Also, I had a little bit of like an emotional moment yesterday, kind of just, how sometimes things build up and then you just have an emotional release, and that's what yesterday was. And it was a good thing, you know. I think it's good to like cry and let things out. I always feel like better afterwards and more grounded and things like that, but I also feel exhausted, and I need more sleep after moments like that. Like, emotional release is really good and it's really important, but it does weigh really heavy on you energetically. And so like, I gotta let myself sleep. So with that said, I'm going to go outside. You guys wanna go outside? Sit down. Wait. Okay, get. Oh. I'm gonna go work for a few hours, and then I'm gonna check in with you in a little bit. Okay, so I just worked for a few hours. I have to make an early dinner tonight, so I'm already making dinner again. I have ice skating tonight. I think I told you guys in another video that I was doing I'm doing this like group ice skating, like adult beginner program. Today's the last day, but I think I'm gonna sign up again because it's super fun. But no, I'm definitely gonna sign up again because I bought ice skates. But anyways, I have to make an early dinner, and I will show you guys what I'm making. I already put a Japanese sweet potato, like I told you, my favorite. I put it in the oven to bake, and then I'm just gonna make some fish. I'm gonna do like a smaller, easier dinner because I just don't have time, but it's still very healthy and very clean. Okay, while that is cooking, I'm going to get ready for ice skating. I am pretty close on time, so I hope I'm actually able to eat this meal that I'm cooking.
You get that for your dog? Jillz,
Jillz, what do you think about these decorations? They're only $26. And then it comes with this 5-foot by 3-foot poster.
Yeah, just one drop orally. Hold. Yeah, just saturate. So all the same, you're gonna do one golden thread and 2 attunia. None of those, no. And then those stay the same.
One golden thread, 2 attunia.
Yep.
And then the rest of the same.
Rest the same.
So I got back a little while ago from ice skating, and then I had a treatment with Charlie, which I showed. He is a chiropractor, but he does like energetic things as well, and he has greatly helped me improve my health. So I'm thankful for him. I'll link his information below just in case you want to check out his Instagram or anything like that. Now I'm going to get into the sauna and read a book and kind of relax a little bit. I love the sauna. It has so many good benefits. It just makes me feel so good. I totally forgot to turn on the sauna. Oops. So I just did that. It's going to take like at least 30 minutes, probably 45 minutes. So I'm going to do a few more things. I'm going to stretch before the sauna. I want to start stretching again, like I said, so I'm going to go stretch. All right, so the sauna is 123 degrees. I usually set it for like 140, so it's still heating up a little bit, but it's feeling real good in here. I'm already starting to sweat. I'm gonna read this book that I have been, hold on, oops, trying to stay covered up here and not show anything. I'm reading this book called Letting Go by David R. Hawkins. I'm really enjoying it. I'm almost done, so I'm just gonna finish that and just kind of relax in here. Just feels so good. Oh, and also I usually only go in here for like 20 to 30 minutes. I usually don't go any more than 30 minutes, sometimes like 35. But at that point, I'm like tapped out and I'm already like so sweaty. I feel like whatever's gonna happen, like it's already happened by that point. So I've got my PJs on, I took a shower, did my skincare routine, got all clean, and I'm trying to be quiet because it's 10:30. Cole's already sleeping. I'm gonna get a quick snack because I'm pretty hungry because I had such an early dinner. And then I'm probably just gonna read for like 10 more minutes and then I think I'm done. Like, I'm pretty wiped. I'm ready for bed. But anyways, I hope you guys got some sort of value from this. Maybe it inspired you to live a healthier lifestyle or start some new healthy habits. But I will say with all of this, it is very, very easy for me to come back to my healthy habits because they're not something that I force. I don't do them because I want to look a certain way or have six-pack abs. I do them, I don't even have six-pack abs. I do them because they make me feel good, and that is the only reason why. I like feeling healthy. I like feeling capable and like I'm able to do what I want with my life. If you have any questions on anything that I mentioned, feel free to comment below in the comments. But besides that, I will just see you next time. I appreciate you watching and staying till the very end if you are here. So thank you. Bye.